Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves, baseball, and the rest of the league. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Monday, August 25th. We're going to get right into this show. We're going to talk about the previous Braves series that was against the New York Mets. We're going to talk about all the rest of the series that went on around the league. And then we're going to look at the upcoming series for the Braves that starts tonight, actually, in about 15 minutes. That's going to be down in Miami against the Marlins. So let's get right into it, guys. Let's head into our very first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we take a look at the previous Braves series. And Tomahawk Takes is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT20 to save yourself $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. Go catch a show, go catch a game, go catch a raw, whatever, a concert, whatever you could get on SeatGeek, man. Anything you can get on SeatGeek, use code CHOPSEAT20, and you're gonna save yourself $20 off your very first purchase. So we're gonna talk about the previous Braves series. That was a series against the New York Mets. Little bro coming into town. Braves hoping to get a series win and keep that streak going. Remember, they had a 4 straight series win streak. But the Mets, they come into town and they're able to win this series. They take 2 out of 3, almost sweeping the Braves for the first time at Truist Park. Truist been open for what, 7 or 8 years? They have not swept the Braves at Truist yet. You know, the Mets struggle at Truist, but they came close to it this weekend. But the Braves are able to fight them back in the last game to avoid the sweep. So anyway, let's look at what happened. The game 1 was on Friday night. That was on Apple TV. They had the 1995 World Series championship team reunion. Bobby Cox was in the building. That was good to see. Tripper Jones was there. Luis Polonia, David Justice, the big three. It was cool. It was cool to see the ceremony before the game. If you haven't got a chance to see it, pretty sure they have it on the Braves YouTube channel, Braves social media. You were hoping the Braves were able to win this game, but they were not able to win this one. The Mets, they come out, they got the bats going. They win this one 12-7. It wasn't even close, to be honest. For the Mets, it was Nolan McLean. I think I called him Noah in the previous episode. If I did, my bad. I'm starting to look at it now. I think I did call him Noah, which is crazy. But I was thinking about how he might be your savior, guys. He might be your savior. He might put the team on the back, put them on the arc, carry you to the promised land. That's why maybe I was calling him Noah McLean, but his real name is actually Nolan McLean. He goes 7 innings for the Mets, 4 hits allowed, 2 runs. Both of those earned, no walks, clean, 7 Ks. He gets the win on this one. That's the second win of his career. He now has a 1.46 ERA. For the Braves, it was Joey Wentz. He's been good for the Braves, but this is probably his worst start thus far that I can think of. He was 3 1/3, 9 hits allowed, 6 runs. All those earned, 2 walks, 3 Ks. He takes the L. He's now 4-4 with a 5.25 ERA. And then Eric Fetty came in after to cover some innings, and he did cover some innings, but he got rocked in those innings. He went 4 1/3, 11 hits allowed. He also gave up 6 runs, all earned, 2 walks, just 1 strikeout. He actually gets released after this ball game. He didn't even get DFA'd or anything. He got straight up released. So pretty sure that's going to be his stint as a Brave. That is it for Eric Fetty's short career as a Brave. They're probably gonna pick up another guy, whoever they can, to just piece this rotation together until the end of the season. We'll see who's the next man up in free agency or through waivers. We'll see who they're able to pick up. Anthopoulos is just trying to get to the finish line at this point, the way this season has gone with these starters, and try to save the bullpen a little bit. In this one, again, it was all Mets. It was all Mets in this one. Acuna hit a solo shot. That was number 15 of the season for him. Soto, he hit a 2-run shot. That was number 32 of the season for him. I'm not gonna get too into it. It was not even close. The Braves, they made it a little bit better. They scored 3 in the bottom of the ninth inning. So again, it was 12-4 in the bottom of the ninth. And then they scored 3. And that made it 12-7. Mets got a total of 21 hits in this ball game. These dudes were hitting, man. They were not playing around after losing that final game of the Washington Nationals series they had. So they came into town, man, and they came out swinging. They definitely came out swinging. So you got to give them that win. They win game 1. Game 2, it was a 9-2 victory for the Mets. Another easy one. It was not even close. And they put up 3 in the top of the third. That was Jeff McNeil. And that was pretty much the ball game. The Braves, they scored 2 in the bottom of the fourth. But again, Mets then scored 4 in the top of the 7th. They scored 2 in the top of the 9th. That's the ball game, 9-2. It was Clay Holmes starting for the Mets. He went 6 in the third, 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of those earned 2 walks and 4 Ks. He picks up win number 11 of the season. He's now 11-6 with a 3.60 ERA. Kyle Quantrill, he was making his first start for the Rays. He went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 5 walks, 3 Ks. He takes the L on this one. He's 4-11 with a 5.51 ERA. He probably has another couple starts, and then he might get dropped as well. We'll see. Remember, they already, like I said, they dropped Eric Fetty. They dropped Carlos Carrasco. Maybe a few more starts from Kyle Quantrill, and that'll be it for him. Dylan Lee, man. Dylan Lee, he got tagged in this one. He went 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs allowed, 1 walk, 1 K. He gave up 3 homers. Rare to see from my boy Dylan Lee. So he had a rough game. But again, it was pretty much all Mets in this one. We're not going to get too into it because it is what it is. Mets, they win the series with that one. So that made the season series 7-5 in favor of the Braves. Remember, the Braves had already clinched the season series last time they met in Queens when the Chop Seat was there live. That was when they clinched it. That was fun. And anyways, it was the season series was 7-5 at this point. And then it goes to 8-5 in favor of the Braves because the Braves are able to win the final game of the set to avoid the sweep. For the Mets, it was David Peterson. He goes 5 2/3, 5 hits allowed, 2 earned runs, 4 walks, 8 Ks, 3.18 ERA for him. Juggling Hyde, my boy Bryce Elder, he goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2. Those are both earned. 2 walks, 6 Ks. He now has a 6.12 ERA. He did good. He surprised me again. He did pretty good. If you could go 6 innings, only allowing 2 runs, that's not a bad start for him. Especially, that's not a bad start for anyone, but definitely is a good start to see from him. Bullpen was pretty solid. It was Pierce Johnson, Dylan Lee. He came in. He did pretty good. Tyler Kinley, he came in. He got the win. And Right Side Iglesias, he was able to shut the door down. He got into some trouble in the top of the ninth. But he's able to complete the save. That's number 22 of the season for him. Top of the second, Mark Vientos, he's been high. He hits a home run. That's number 12 of the season for him. A 2-run homer at that. And I made it 2-0 Mets. That was his 3rd straight at bat hitting a homer, going back to Saturday night. So 3 straight ABs with this guy going yard. He's starting to hit, man. That's good. A good, very good sign for the Mets. You need this guy to keep going. Because you remember last year, throughout the season, he was great. And in the postseason, rookie in the postseason, he was raking, bro. He was definitely raking. He changes up that lineup a lot. He definitely changed that lineup up last year. Pretty much giving it like barely any gaps or any holes in that lineup. So if it's a good sign for Mets fans to be seeing Mark Vientos starting to hit again. Bottom of the 6th, though, the base is loaded and 2 out. Sean Murphy, he drives one to right field. That scores Ozzie and Harris. That ties the ball game 2-2. 7, top of the 7 with the bases loaded. Dylan Lee, he gets Pete Alonso to ground out. That was a very, very clutch performance by Dylan Lee. And it was good to see, again, after he gave up all those homers on Saturday night. And then bottom of the 8th, bases loaded yet again, this time for the Braves. Jurickson Profar, he hits a 2-run single. That makes it 4-2 Atlanta. Then we go to the top of the ninth. The Mets, they start, like I said, they threaten against right field Iglesias Soto. Juan Soto, he hits an RBI single to left field. That makes it 4-3. Very close ball game. But then he recovers. Bryce Sell does. He gets Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil to pop out. That is out number 3. That's the ball game. And again, he picks up save number 22 of the season. The Braves are able to avoid the sweep and they head into Miami to be able to they start a road trip. It's a 10-game road trip that they're going to start. I believe it's Marlins for 3, Phillies for 4, and then Cubs for 3. So it's going to be a tough road trip for them. All they got to do is go undefeated in these last. How many games they got left? They got 32. Is it 32 games left? Let's see. Yeah, all they got to do is go 32-0, and they will be. If they did go 32-0, they'll be 91-71. You're in the playoffs with that record. You're definitely in the playoffs with that record. It's not going to happen. We already know it's not going to happen. But imagine that. That would be insane, bro. That would be insane. But anyways, that is it for Tomahawk Takes. I'm telling you, we're doing a quick hitter today. Let me get this music going here. All right, let's head into the ML Beat.
It's time for the MLB.
Welcome to the MLB, where we take a look at the action from across the league. We're going to start off real quick with the Houston Astros at the Baltimore Orioles. They had a 4-game set that started on Thursday. The Houston Astros, they win game 1 on Thursday, 7-2. They win game 2 on Friday, 10-7. They win game 3 on Saturday, 9-8. And then the Orioles are able to avoid the sweep, and they win Sunday's game 3-2. But the Astros, they take 3 out of 4, winning the series. Next, we go to Boston Red Sox at the New York Yankees, man. Yankees took a beating in this one. The Red Sox, they win game 1 on Thursday, 6-3. I think this is the one I was watching, guys. I think it was. Was this the one with Roman Anthony hitting that 2-run shot on top of the ninth? I think it was. It has to be this one. It has to be this one because it was a close game. Dude, that was a shot. That was clutch to see from the kid. Anyways, Red Sox win that one 6-3. They win a tight one on Friday, 1-0. Then they blow these dudes out. Red Sox blow the Yankees out on Saturday's game, 12-1 victory. And then the Yankees are able to come back on Sunday and win that one to avoid the sweep. They win that one 7-2. Jazz Chisholm, 2 homers. Trent Grisham, 2 homers. But this finds the Red Sox, they win 3 out of 4. They win the series. And this puts the Red Sox half a game up on the Yankees for that first wild card spot. But it's crazy, man, because the Yankees, they struggle with the Blue Jays this year. And I'm pretty sure I didn't look at the season series, but they have struggled with the Red Sox as well. So they could beat other teams, but they can't beat these guys in the division. They're division rivals. You're going to have to change that if they're going to make a really good playoff push this season. Next, we go to the St. Louis Cardinals at the Tampa Bay Rays. They had a game on Thursday. The Cardinals, they win that one 7-4. The Rays win the second game on Friday, 10-6. Apparently, they had a day off on Saturday. I don't know why they were off on Saturday. You guys let me know if you guys know, because I thought it was a 4-game series when I was doing this for the previous episode. I really thought it was a 4-game set, but then I was like, why are they playing an interleague 4-game set? Such random teams, St. Louis Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Rays. So it makes sense that they were off on Saturday, but I don't know why they were off on Saturday, but they were. And then the Rays, they win game 3 on Sunday, 7-2. So that gives them the series. They take 2 out of 3. Next, we go to the Colorado Rockies at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Couple of shutouts here from the Pirates. Pirates, they shut out the Rockies 9-0 in game 1. They win game 2, 5-1. And then thanks to Paul Skeens, he goes 7 innings, 7 Ks, 3 hits, no walks. He now has a 2.07 ERA. Thanks to Skeens, they're able to shut out the Rockies yet again. They won 4-0, and that completes a sweep for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Next, we go to the Washington Nationals at the Philadelphia Phillies. The Nationals are able to come in. They steal game 1, 5-4. But the Phillies, they're able to win 6-4 game 2. And then Ranger Suarez, he goes 7 innings, 3 hits, no walks, 11 Ks in the final game of the set to win this game and the series. They win that one 3-2. They take 2 out of 3. Next, we go to the Kansas City Royals at the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers win game 1 7-5. They win game 2 4-2. Vinny Pasquantino and Michael Garcia, they lead the Royals to a 10-8 victory to avoid the sweep. That was Pasquantino's number 28 of the season. Michael Garcia's number 13 of the season. But again, the Tigers, they take 2 out of 3. Next, we go to the Toronto Blue Jays at the Miami Marlins. Blue Jays, they win game 1 5-2. They win game 2 7-6. They try to bring the brooms out, but Miami, they grab them brooms, they snap them joints. They're able to win the final game 5-3. But again, Toronto, they take 2 out of 3. They keep playing very good baseball. Minnesota Twins at the Chicago White Sox. The Twins, they win game 1 9-7. White Sox win game 2 7-3. And they win the series because they win game 3 by a shutout. 8-0 victory for them. That's a series win for the White Sox. Cleveland at the Texas Rangers. The Rangers, they win game 1 4-3. They win game 2, shutout action, baby, 10-0. And then they win game 3, another shutout. Guardians offense, what's going on, man? What is going on? They get shut out 5-0. The Rangers are back at 500. Merrill Kelly, he went 7 scoreless innings and 8 strikeouts in that shutout win for the Rangers. Next, we go to the San Francisco Giants at the red hot Milwaukee Brewers. The Brewers, they get game 1 5-4. But then San Francisco, they win game 2 7-1. Then they win game 3 4-3, and they shock the Brewers and take 2 out of 3 from them. They win that series. Next, we go to the LA Angels hosting the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs, they come into town. They take game 1 3-2. They take game 2 12-1. They bring out the brooms. They sweep the LA Angels because they win that final game 4-3. Next, we go to the Cincinnati Reds at the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Cincinnati Reds, they walk it off in game 1. There was a 6-5. Was it 6-5? Sorry, I think I did something wrong here. Yes, it was a 6-5 victory. It was Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He walked it off for them in the bottom of the 11th. Again, 6-5 victory there. The Diamondbacks, they come back in game 2. They win that one as well, 10-1 victory. And then Cincinnati Reds, Brady Singer, he goes 6 innings, 9 Ks, just 1 run allowed. Spencer Steer, he hits his 16th homer of the season. It was a 3-run homer that was able to give the Cincinnati Reds the lead and help them to stay in the wild card race. We're going to look at the standings after this. But again, Diamondbacks, they take 2 out of 3. A very, very good series that I told you guys to keep an eye on. The battle for the NL West, the Los Angeles Dodgers at the San Diego Padres. The Padres are able to take game 1, a very close game, 2-1. They take game 2, 5-1 victory there. That gave the Padres a 1-game lead atop the NL West. But then the Dodgers, they come back in game 3. Freddie Freeman, he tied it up with a homer. Dalton Rushing, the rookie, he had a very, very clutch 3-run homer. Freddie Freeman, he had a second homer also in this ballgame. Shohei Ohtani, he hits number 45 of the season for him. That was a 8-2 victory for the Dodgers. They avoid the sweep. So they're back tied up in the top of the NL East with the Padres. Again, it's going to be very, very good to see how this division ends up. And I think that's the season series for them. I think that's the season series. That's my fault. I didn't do any research on who actually won the season series. I'm going to go probably Dodgers, though. It was probably 7-6 Dodgers. I got to look that up before the end of the MLB. But anyways, the last series that we had, Athletics at the Seattle Mariners. Mariners take game 1, 3-2. The Athletics, they are able to take game 2 in 10 innings. Took 10 innings. They won that one 2-1. And then game 3 yesterday, big dumper. He goes off. He hits homer number 48 of the season. Then he hits number 49 of the season for him. He is now the greatest home run hitting catcher in a season. He breaks the record. He is now, and he's going to keep adding to it. So big dumper solidifies himself atop the greatest home run hitting catcher in a season. The Seattle Mariners win that one 11-4. And that is how the action from around the league went. That is all we got for you. We got some series that are starting tonight. There's a few of them probably. First pitch is probably on the way right now. I think the Braves just started. Red Sox already winning 1-0. They're playing the Baltimore Orioles. The Rays are tied up. And that one just started also. Anyways, Boston and Baltimore, like you heard me say, they're having a 4-game set. You got Tampa Bay at the Cleveland Guardians. You got the Braves against the Marlins. We're going to talk about that in our next segment. Washington Nationals at the New York Yankees in the Bronx. Minnesota Twins at the Toronto Blue Jays. Keep an eye on this one. Philadelphia Phillies at the New York Mets. That's going to be a good one. Kansas City Royals at the Chicago White Sox. Let me just take a sip of this. Needed that. Arizona Diamondbacks at the Milwaukee Brewers. They're going to have a 4-game set. Pittsburgh Pirates at the St. Louis Cardinals. That's also a 4-game set. You got the LA Angels at the Texas Rangers. You got the San Diego Padres at the Seattle Mariners. Keep an eye on that one. That one may be interesting. Detroit Tigers at the Athletics. Cincinnati Reds at the LA Dodgers. Keep an eye on that one as well. That is going to be interesting. Remember, the Reds are in that playoff hunt. The Dodgers tied up in top of the NL West. And then remember, you got the San Diego Padres, like I just mentioned. They're tied up with the Dodgers and the Seattle Mariners, trying to stay in that wild card hunt. And then Tuesday, you got the Colorado Rockies at the Houston Astros, and then you got the Chicago Cubs at the San Francisco Giants. So that's what we got starting tonight. And remember, like I said, the Red Sox are already up on the Orioles 1-0. It was Roman Anthony. There he is again. He had his first career lead-off homer. So that is it for that. Then let's look at the standings real quick. Let's look at the standings. NL East, you got the Philadelphia Phillies in first, 76-54. Mets 69-61. They're 7 games back. Miami Marlins 61-69. Braves 59-71. Nationals 53-77. Excuse me. Whoa. You get that at the chop, so you got a couple burps here. NL Central, Milwaukee Brewers 81-50. Chicago Cubs 76-55. They're 5 games back. Cincinnati 68-63. St. Louis 64-67. Pittsburgh Pirates 57-74. National League West, Los Angeles Dodgers 74-57. They're tied with the Padres 74-57. Diamondbacks are 10 games back, 64-67. Giants 63-68. Colorado Rockies 37-94. Toronto Blue Jays 76-55. They're on top of the American League East. They have a 5-game lead on the Boston Red Sox, who are 71-60. New York Yankees 5.5 games back, 70-60. Tampa Bay Rays 63-67. Baltimore Orioles 60-70. AL Central, the Detroit Tigers, they have a nice, comfortable lead. They're 78-54. They have a 10.5 game lead on the Royals, 67-64. Cleveland 64-65. They've lost 5 in a row. Minnesota Twins 59-71. And the Chicago White Sox 47-83. And in the last division that we have left, it's the AL West. The Houston Astros are atop this one, 72-59. Seattle Mariners 70-61. They're 2 games back. Texas Rangers, who just hit 500 at 66-66. They're 6.5 games back. The LA Angels 61-69, and the Athletics 60-72. The Athletics, low key, they actually have a better record than the Braves, bro. I just realized that. That's crazy. Anyways, wild card is as follows. Again, you got 4 teams tied up right now. You got 2 teams tied up at the NL West. So we're going to have them in the wild card right now. Wild card is as follows. Chicago Cubs, they got the first spot. Dodgers and Padres tied for spot number 2. And then the final spot, it's the New York Mets at 69-61. The Cincinnati Reds are behind them 1.5 games. Diamondbacks 64-67. They're 5.5 back. St. Louis Cardinals 5.5 as well. Giants 6.5. Miami 8. And the Braves 10 games back. They really missed on a golden opportunity if they were going to make something happen to to make up some ground. But obviously, they've been sucking this year. So that's what happens. You lose the series to the Mets, you find yourself 10 games back again. Anyways, the American League. Here's the American League wild card standings. You got the Tigers, Blue Jays, Astros winning their divisions. Boston Red Sox, they got the number one spot, 71-60. New York Yankees, 70-60. They're half a game back. Seattle Mariners are in it right now, 70-61. They got the Royals coming up behind them, 67-64. They're 3 games back. Rangers, 66, 4.5. Cleveland, 5 games back. Tampa Bay, 6.5. Angels, 8.5. Baltimore, 9.5. You got the Athletics and the Twins at 10.5 each. So that's how the standings are looking. You still got about 30-something games. About 30. Some teams are probably at 30. Anywhere from 30 to 32 games left for all teams in the majors right now. So this is getting to that time where you got to make a run, man. You got to make a run. We're going to start seeing which teams are really in it, which teams are really not. It's starting to... I can't believe it's literally about to be the end of the season almost, bro. Like, that's the crazy... The season has flown by, bro, which is crazy. But I'm excited for playoff baseball, man. Even if the Braves aren't in it, it's going to be very exciting to see, especially the National League. Actually, both sides, because the National League, you got way too many teams that are good. But then in the American League, you want to see which team is going to, you feel like there's a team that's going to come out of the blue and then just separate themselves. So I really wonder what team in the American League is going to be able to do that. And then we got the powerhouses in the National League. We're going to see who is going to come out the winner in that one. What else we got? We had, I don't remember if I mentioned this the last episode. I think we had an idea that Zach Wheeler was going to be out for the season. But then it was confirmed over the weekend. I think he had thoracic outlet surgery. I think that's what it's called. If I'm saying it wrong, that's my bad. But he did receive the surgery for the blood clot. He's going to be out for the rest of the season. He should be back by spring training next year, I think. Hopefully. That's a big loss over the Phillies, man. Zach Wheeler is one of the best pitchers in the game. Every time he pitches against us, bro, this dude cooks. He cooks. He's a gamer. It's tough to see them. You don't want to see any of the elite guys. You don't want to see any of these guys go down. But it's tough to see, one of these elite guys, one of the most elite guys in the game go down. Hopefully he recovers soon. He's able to get back on the diamond. But again, a very big loss for the Phillies. Because he's legit an ace. He's an ace. I don't care what you say. To me, he's an ace. If he's not an ace to you, bro, you got to reevaluate yourself, to be honest. You really do. But anyways, that's what we got. And then I had this notification. Excuse me. I got this notification right before I started the show. It said, this is from ESPN. And I didn't click on it. I just saw the headline. But I got a notification. Man named Babe Ruth accused of using names of dead or retired baseball players to commit fraud. So Babe Ruth, he makes a comeback into the headlines. He commits fraud on his dead teammates and peers. Apparently, I don't know what Babe Ruth was up to. I don't know what he was thinking. But he got caught and he has been accused of using the names of dead or retired baseball players to commit fraud. Again, I didn't click on the whole article. I don't know what kind of fraud he was committing. But Babe Ruth was wild, bro. Babe Ruth, chill. Chill out, babe. You gotta chill out, bro. Anyways, that is all I have for the MLB. So let's head into our last and final segment. Hold on, let me bring this down. Here we go. Let's go to our... Now we can go to our last segment. Just bear with me a little bit. That is the Braves forecast.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast, where we take a look at the upcoming Braves series. And like I said, this one just started a few minutes ago. But not even. This might be in the second inning already. Let me look this up real quick. This might be in the second inning. No, it hasn't even started yet. Hold on. No. My phone's bugging out. That's my phone bugging out. Hold on. I'm looking at Tuesday. Yes. It's in the top of the second. Runner on first. 2-0 count for the Rays. Michael Harris at the plate. He might go yard. We'll see what ends up happening. But anyways, you got the 59-71 Atlanta Braves in Miami against the 61-69 Miami Marlins. A battle for third place in the NL East. Game 1, again, 6:40 p.m. Eastern start time. Spencer Strider on the mound. He's been very, very, very rocky his last 3 to 4 starts. Now he's 5-11 with a 5.24 ERA. He's looking to turn it around against the Marlins. It's going to be Edward Cabrera going for them. He's 6-7 with a 3.52 ERA. Game 2 is going to be at 6:40 p.m. tomorrow Eastern start time. Hurston Waldrop, 2026 Braves starter. He's 4-0 with a 0.73 ERA. He's going up against Sandy Alcantara, who's 7-11 with a 6.04 ERA. And then the final game of the series is going to be Joey Wentz, who's 4-4 with a 5.25 ERA, going up against Ryan Gusto, who's 7-6 with a 5.05 ERA. Let's see if the Braves can get this 10-game road trip on the right foot. We'll see. The Marlins usually play us tough. It doesn't matter how bad they are, how good we are. They play us tough. So now that the Braves are not good, Marlins are actually better than us this year when it comes to the record. So we'll see. We'll see if the Braves can get this series started off on the right foot, like I said, and this entire road trip. They got 7 games against rivals, Marlins, and then the Phillies on the road. And then remember, they're going to Chicago for 3 to battle the Cubs. So I don't have anything else for this Braves forecast, to be honest. I was just highlighting the starters, the probable starters at least. And besides this season being a disappointment, I feel like, you got some positives here. You see Joey Wentz. He might be a lock for in the bullpen for next year. He might be a lock. We'll see if he can continue to do good and bounce back from that last start they had against the Mets. But to me, I keep saying Hurston Waldrop, that's probably the number one positive that we've seen this season, how he was able to come up. And crazy thing is that he came up to continue that suspended NASCAR, what's it called? Speedway Classic game. So it's kind of like, I feel like if it was never rained out or suspended on that Saturday night where it was supposed to happen down in Bristol, he would have never came up. He probably would have came up maybe end of September. I mean, sorry, not end of September. End of September is the end of the season. The beginning of September when they have the extra call-ups. But, thanks to that rain out, man. Thanks to that rain out, we were able to see him come up earlier. And man, like I said, he's been cooking 4-0 with a 0.73 ERA, man. So that, to me, personally, that's the number one positive for this season. And I hope he can keep it up. And I hope he's able to stay healthy and be in that rotation and stay healthy the whole year next year. That's what I'm hoping for. So we'll see how he does tomorrow night. Again, he will be going up against Cy Young, Sandy Alcantara. Anyways, that is all I have for the Chopsy today. I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll probably be talking before the Phillies series starts. That's going to be on Thursday. I know the Braves have an early game on Wednesday. That's 1:10 p.m. So yeah, we could probably do it Thursday. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week, and we'll see you guys then. Thank you for listening to the Chop Seat.